Hello, everybody. It's Jason Prigge from the Coolest Coast here with another edition of Coffee on the Coast Live. And as Wednesdays would have it, I have the award-winning Manitowoc Public Library on the show with the wonderful and intelligent Meredith Gadzinski. There she is. And we are talking about something really cool today that kind of speaks to my heart because I love architecture and I love history. And it sounds like you guys are doing something right now that kind of marry both.
Yes. So we are offering virtual historic tours of downtown buildings in Manitowoc every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So yesterday, the first one streamed, and we highlighted the library building. And next week, we'll be talking about the Torreson building just across the bridge.
Very cool. And is the Torreson one, that's the one where the flower gallery's in currently?
No, that is the Dempsey building. The Torreson building has a waterfront wine bar in it. And we'll be highlighting the building with the flower gallery in it as well.
Oh, okay. I don't know all the names of the Torreson building or of the buildings downtown, which means I need to watch, right? So I'm just going to throw up this placard here. So every Tuesday at 6 p.m. from June 16th to August 18th. So for a full month, you guys are doing these shows. And can you give us a little sneak peek or a little spoiler about the Torreson building?
Well, the Torreson building, I don't know if you know the history of Oswald Torreson, but he built one of the largest retail stores in the state of Wisconsin. Which is kind of cool for a city of Manitowoc size. Other buildings that were in the Torreson building was North End Drug, Henderson Hoyt. Those were two buildings that took place that after Torreson closed. Those were two of the businesses that used that building. And now it's used by the Waterfront Wine Bar. Boston store was also in that building, and Johnson Hills.
Wow, we really used to have a lot of retail. I'm finding out a lot of retail downtown before the whole Highway 43 came about. So I've been through that building. I was through it before they renovated it. And I just think it's so awesome that they kept that cool Cream City brick feel to it. So I'll be looking out for that. So what other buildings downtown do you have coming up in future shows?
So as I mentioned, the Dempsey building will be aired on June 30th. Modern by Megan Jewelry Store, also known historically as Fair's Jewelry Store, that will be aired on July 7th. Then we're going to talk about the Shoe Department Store, which has undergone a lot of improvements, which is fantastic. It looks wonderful. Then the Manitowoc Savings Bank, the Manitowoc County Courthouse, and then the Williams Block, which has the Hardy Olive in it, that building. It's also known as the International Order of the Oddfellows building. And then we're going to talk about the Henry Berner Hardware Store, which has the Mad Hatter and Dead by Dawn in it. And then we're going to end with the oldest building on the tour, Cathy's Stage Door Pub.
Wow, that's awesome. And I was just reading about Cathy's Stage Door Pub and how they've come under new ownership. And what I was worried of is somebody's going to buy that land and tear it down, because I knew Cathy and she was a friend of ours. And I'm so happy to hear that somebody's bought it and going to keep it in its historical state. So that's great. The Manitowoc Savings, is that directly across the street from the Schutte building?
Yes, and one of the Schutte brothers started that because people were keeping their money in the Shoe Department Store because there were a lot of bank failures at the time. So they were asking, when people had extra cash on hand, they would say, "Can you hold my money?" And I believe it was John Schutte that said, "Hey, we need to open a bank." So he opened a bank across the street from the store because they needed a bank that would actually be reliable in this area.
Wow. I love that building. It's so cool. It's got some really cool ornamental stuff going on the outside. So I'm definitely not going to want to miss that one. Once again, I just want to bring this up for our listeners out there, our watchers. This is where to get the goods, all the good information on historic 8th Street, a virtual series featuring iconic buildings in downtown Manitowoc every Tuesday at 6 p.m. from June 16th to August 18th. And how do people engage with that? Do they go to the website? Do they go to Facebook?
They can go to the Facebook page, and you don't need an account to view that video. You can just go to the Manitowoc Public Library Facebook page by searching it using Google or whatever search engine you use, and you can view it that way.
Super, very cool. And I'm just going to bring up the website here right now. Now, I heard the library's open for business, right?
Yes, we are. We're open for business, and there's just a few minor adjustments. We just ask that people stay 6 feet apart, and we're discouraging lingering, but you can come in and use the computers and get your materials and do what you need to do and use the facility again. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 9 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 1. We are closed on Sundays. And we're using the hours that were not open to sanitize to keep everyone safe.
Awesome. I'd expect nothing less from the wonderful award-winning Manitowoc Public Library. You guys are doing a great job down there. Keep up the awesome work, and thanks for all this interesting programming. I've been noticing, especially since the pandemic has come along, it makes being at home a lot more interesting, and especially when the subject is downtown Manitowoc. I think it's very cool. So thanks for all the hard work you do down there, Meredith. We super appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jason.